beside us, still holding adults. She was found tied behind a gas station off 205. Been quiet ever since, but when kids walk by, she perks up. Lily squatted beside the kennel. "Hi, puppy," she whispered. "I'm Lily. Want to come home?" And Lola, the name scribbled in Sharpie on her intake tag, slowly stood up, walked to the gate, and pressed her nose into Lily's hand. That was the moment. Not when I filled she was underwater. I couldn't reach her, but Lola did. One moment, Lily was laughing on the shore. The next, gone. Just a splash, a scream, and that sickening silence. My legs froze. My mind blanked. But the German Shepherd puppy we adopted 10 days ago. She didn't hesitate. Lola dove in before I even screamed her name. It was just past noon at Lake Owego, Oregon. The sun was high, warm light dancing across the water. We thought it was a perfect Saturday. Emily had laid out the picnic. I had just pulled my phone out to check a work message. And Lily, our 3-year-old, was chasing a blue plastic ball near the lake's edge, laughing like nothing in the world could touch her. And then the ball rolled. It was fast. I looked up and saw it bounce once, twice, then disappear into the water. Lily went after it with those toddler steps, clumsy and determined. She didn't know what danger looked like. She didn't know the edge was slick, or how deep it dropped just past the reeds. But Lola did. Our German Shepherd puppy had been watching her. She was only 6 months old, still learning the rules of the house, still skittish when strangers came too close. But she moved like lightning. I saw her ears perk. Then a single bark. Short, sharp, and she charged. I dropped my phone, ran. But Lola was already there. Lily's feet slipped. Her hands flailed at the air. She fell forward. No sound but the splash. Gone. That's the only word I can use. Gone under. Too fast, too small to see from where I was. Lola launched off the shoreline like a missile. Her paws barely touched the water before she was paddling hard. Ears flat, body stretched. She was silent now, focused. I was screaming by then, or I think I was. My voice didn't even sound like mine. Emily was behind me, frozen, screaming Lily's name, begging the world not to take our daughter. But it wasn't the world that saved her. It was a puppy, a German Shepherd puppy with a scar near her ribcage and eyes too old for her face. Lola reached Lily in seconds. She circled her, then bit down, not hard, not panicked, right on the back of Lily's bright yellow overalls. She began to pull just enough to lift her chin above the water. Lily gasped, cried, coughed. I hit the water cold, sharp. I swam the last few feet and grabbed them both. Lola didn't let go until I did. She swam the fabric until my feet touched the muddy bottom, and I lifted Lily into my arms. She was breathing, shaking, but alive. And Lola, she just stood in the water beside us, chest heaving, watching Lily like she wasn't sure if it was over yet. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just a dog we saved. She was here for a reason. 10 days earlier, I almost walked out of the shelter empty-handed. The place was loud, barking, doors slamming, the smell of bleach and worry hanging in the air. Lily clung to my hand, her eyes wide, bouncing with every tail she saw wag. Emily had stayed in the car. She wasn't ready. None of us really were. Our last dog, Murphy, had passed just 4 months earlier, 13 years with him. It felt wrong even stepping into another kennel. But Lily kept saying the same thing on the ride over. "Just look, Daddy, just look." And then she saw her, at the very end of the row, curled up in a patch of shade inside a chain-link kennel, was a small, sable German Shepherd puppy. Her ears were uneven. One stood up, the other flopped sideways. She had a scar just behind her ribs, and she was too thin. But her eyes locked on Lily like she already knew her. The volunteer's name was Tammy. She knelt down and whispered through the bars. She doesn't trust out the paperwork. Not when the adoption counselor went over the rules. That moment, 2 girls, 1 human, 1 with paws, silently choosing each other. Tammy said, "You don't have to decide today. Fostering is an option too." I looked at Lily. "Just a trial run," I told her. "A weekend." She smiled like she didn't believe me. "She's already mine." In the car, Lola didn't make a sound. She sat beside Lily, her body tense, but her eyes never left her. Emily didn't say much that night. She watched from across the room as Lily rolled a ball toward the hallway, and Lola chased it, clumsily returning it with a soft growl. "Still think it's too soon?" I asked. She didn't answer. But when we put Lily to bed, Lola curled up just outside her door, rested her head on her paws, and stayed there all night. It was only the second night when I caught Emily whispering, "Good girl," as she refilled Lola's bowl. Something in that puppy broke through us, or maybe reminded us who we used to be. We didn't rescue her. Lily did. By the third morning, Lola had memorized every sound Lily made. The soft slap of her little feet on the tile, the way she hummed to herself when she was coloring, even the babble she made before falling asleep. Lola responded to it all, like her ears were tuned only to Lily's frequency. I'll admit it. I kept waiting for the puppy phase to kick in for chewed, up shoes, accidents on the rug, barking fits. But Lola was careful, watchful, especially with our daughter. If Lily dropped a toy, Lola would nudge it back. If Lily wandered too far down the hall, Lola followed. Never loud, never pushy, just there. That morning, as sunlight filtered through the curtains, I found them both asleep on the living room rug. Lily was on her side, clutching a stuffed giraffe. Lola was curled up behind her, one paw resting gently across Lily's ankles, guarding her, like she belonged there, like she always had. "She's different," Emily said quietly from the kitchen. "Not like Murphy, but maybe exactly what we needed." I nodded, but didn't answer, because she was right. Lola wasn't Murphy. She wasn't goofy or loud or big-hearted in the same way. She was quiet, thoughtful. There was something almost old in her eyes, like she'd seen more than a puppy should have, and still chose to love. Anyway, that day we took her to the vet. She was underweight but healthy. The scar near her ribs was healing. They said she might always have a slight limp when she got tired, damaged from how tightly she'd been tied, but she'd live a full life. On the way home, we stopped by a local pet store. Lily picked out a color, teal with yellow stars and a tag that read Lola Lily. At checkout, the clerk smiled. "New addition." I hesitated, then said it out loud for the first time. "Yeah, she's family now." That night, after Lily fell asleep, Lola wandered into our room. For the first time, she sat by the bed, looking up at me. I reached down to pet her head, and she leaned in just a little. A second later, she was gone. Back to Lily's room, I followed. There she was, curled up by the crib, eyes already closing. But when I whispered, "Good girl, girl," she wagged her tail once against the floor. She didn't need praise. She just needed to be near her girl, and maybe deep down, I already knew this little German Shepherd puppy wasn't just watching Lily. She was waiting for the moment she'd be needed. Saturday started like any perfect day should. The kind you don't realize you'll remember for the rest of your life. Not because of how it began, but because of how it ended. The sun was bright, the breeze warm but not hot, and Lily had begged since breakfast to go to the lake. Lake Assago was just 15 minutes from our house. It had been our weekend tradition before Murphy passed. This was the first time we'd gone back. I wasn't sure how it would feel. Emily packed a small picnic. Lily wore her favorite yellow overalls, and Lola, our 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy, bounded into the car like she knew it would be her best day yet. She stuck her head out the window on the drive over, ears flapping, eyes closed in the wind. It was the first time she'd looked carefree. When we arrived, the grass by the lake shimmered with dew still catching the sun. Families had already started setting up tents and chairs, but we found a quiet spot under a big sycamore tree just a few feet from the water's edge. Lily didn't walk. She ran that half-hopping toddler run, kicking off her shoes and tumbling into the soft grass. Lola chased after her, not barking, not wild, just watchful. Always watching. Emily laid out the blanket and sandwiches. I spread out the towels and made a mental note to keep my phone in my pocket. Not today. Today was supposed to be for them. "Daddy, throw it." Lily held up a blue rubber ball, eyes glowing. I tossed it gently across the grass. Lola ran for it first, scooped it in her mouth, and dropped it beside Lily, tail wagging. Again, Lily squealed. They played for what felt like forever. I took a few photos, even managed to catch a moment where Lola had one paw on the ball and Lily had the other, both of them frozen in a tiny tugafor. Emily leaned against me. She's different now. Happier. So is Lily, I said. That's when I should have seen it. That little voice inside me. The one that warns you when something's off. It flickered just for a second because the ball rolled farther, this time down the sloped grass, past the dry patch, toward the muddy bank. Lily chased after it, laughing. Lola didn't move. Not yet. I stood, took a step, called her name, but she was so fast, so small. Her feet didn't find grip on the slope. The ball bounced once, then slid into the lake, and Lily, 3 years old, fearless, trusting, ran straight after it. I opened my mouth to shout. Too late. Lily slipped. Both feet left the ground. There was no time for thought, no time for fear. Only Lola. She vanished. 1 second. Lily was